Beta, start it on the YouTube. Hi. So now we'll be starting with the second class of the day, है ना? In this class, if you can see what I have done, not for the first topic, but for rest of the topic, you have got the class handout. Okay? So the topics are big, value addition is there. So I have already given you the entire content so that we save the time. If you will see the format remains the same. On one page, you will have one topic. Even if your pages are stapled, remove the stapling, okay? Separate the pages so that in a single page we have the entire mains topic compiled. The ideology remains the same, beta. In December, we will put all the topics together and we will ensure that all the mains current affairs articles are ready with us in the segregated format, subject wise format. Okay? For the first topic, since this is not in your handout, you will make the notes in a A4 sheet. For rest two topics, I have given you almost 80% of the content, rest 20% I will dictate you. Okay. So take out a A4 sheet. The first topic will be middle income trap. The first topic is middle income trap. Because whatever is your doubt online, beta, whatever is your doubt which are old, I will take them at the end of the class. Okay? As of now, if you have any doubt between the class, you can always ask it from me. So the topic is middle income trap. So it has been in news since last many years, but resurfacing again and again and again and again. Okay? So there will be some, let's say, the report from the World Bank, so then again it will resurface. If the statement will be made by maybe the PM of the country, or maybe by the chief economic advisor, or maybe by the finance minister, again the term will resurface. So a very important term which I want you to understand, not as a what I can say the definition, but as a concept, that what exactly do we mean by middle income trap, and is India facing the middle income trap, and what is the way out, that how we can bypass this middle income trap. Now I will show you one slide. See this. If I go with the definition of the World Bank says that low income countries are those countries annually where the per capita income is less than $1135. If the per capita income is between $1135 to $13,846, then the country is considered to be middle income country. In this also, World Bank has made two bifurcation. First is lower middle income, then higher middle income. Not a matter of concern for us. What matters to us, that where is India lying? If you can see, India is close towards the low middle income country. India is having the annual income of around $2,400 or $2,500. And at the same time, if I see China is having the annual income of around $13,000. Although China is under the middle income bracket right now, but China is very close to break that bracket and go to the high income countries, or maybe as the developed country. What is high income country? The country which is having the per capita income. What is per capita income? Total GDP divided by the population. If the per capita income is greater than 13,846, then the country is considered to be high income country. USA is having the income of around $80,000, much high than the bracket of the World Bank. Right now, my matter of concern is not to make you rectify this. We are not concerned about the data points. I will try to build the argument based upon this. Firstly, if you all know, if I talk about the ranking of India in terms of GDP, what is the rank of India globally? Fourth. So our global rank, if I talk in terms of GDP, it is 4th. And if I talk about, let's say, in terms of PPP, what is the ranking of India? 3rd. So India ranks 3rd when it comes to the PPP. So we are adjusting the GDP to the, what I can say, the nominal rates, real rates, and that is how we are getting the PPP. Ab, do you think this is the fair comparison? Do you think if I am comparing the GDP of India with the GDP of, let's say, any other country, is that fair? We are doing the chest thumping and we are saying that, you know, we are the 4th biggest economy or maybe the 3rd biggest economy. It's fine. But when it comes to the real impact of that GDP, we should be focusing more upon the per capita income. That what is the income, or what is the standards of income, or what is the ranking of India when it comes to the individual. है ना यार, country के level पे the population could be anything. Now if the country is having the higher GDP, that doesn't, if the population is also high, that doesn't mean anything. Ab, the matter of concern, the matter of discussion or debate is what is the rank of India when it comes to the per capita income. I have told you India's per capita income is around 2,500. Although our rank in the GDP is 4th, beta, or maybe in the PPP we are the 3rd largest economy of the world. But what you expect? I'm just asking you to guess. What should be our rank when it comes to the per capita income? That is on PPP. So it's as high as 145 out of 196 countries. So if I tell you the exact ranking, so we are around 144 out of 196 when compared to GDP. But when I'm talking about the PPP per capita, it is around 127. Okay. On one side, this is the story that we are the 3rd largest economy when it comes to the PPP, or maybe the 4th largest economy when it comes to the GDP. But at the same time, when I'm comparing on the PPP, we are as low as 144th rank. First thing. In this entire debate, there is a concept of middle income trap. I want you to give your 100% attention for next few minutes. फिर you don't need anything in this topic. Understand what is happening, beta. As of now, if any economy is in low income category or maybe not developed, poor, okay, and it is having the poor state, what will be the characteristics of this economy on positive side, or what will be the silver lining of this economy? The silver lining will be the labor will be cheap. Hayana. If I compare the price of the labor in US and if I compare the price of the labor in India, so we are having the cheaper labor at India. If I compare the price of labor in India with Africa, they will have the more cheaper labor. What I am trying to make a point is the silver lining in this low income country is cheap labor. Not only cheap labor, also cheaper resources, or I can say some of the, not all the factors of income or the factors of production, some of the factors of income, production will be favorable in nature. First thing, what will happen, beta, if this is so? Just allow me 2 minutes. Ye clarity you won't find anywhere on the internet, I promise. When it comes to this topic, middle income trap, just give me 2 minutes, you will have the ultra clarity. Cheap labor, cheap land, and some factors of production will be favorable in nature. What is happening? If this is the case, don't you think the economy of this poor country or maybe the low income country, this will be competitive in some aspects? I'm not comparing the technology, I'm not comparing the investment, but I'm comparing the labor and the land cost. So in some aspects, the economy of this poor income country will be competitive, or products will be competitive. And if this is the case, then don't you think it will lead to exports? It may attract some investment, Hayana. It may attract some investment, and at the same time, all of it will lead to growth rate. Agreed or not? Abhi tak, agreed or not? Ab, just observe the entire story. What is happening? All of you have agreed with me. The country is poor. Some of the factors are favorable when it comes to the production, and if they are favorable, it will lead to the competitiveness of the products, and when the products are competitive, it will lead to higher exports, higher investment, higher growth rate of the country. Up. If this growth rate is there, if the exports are higher, if the investment is there, if the growth rate is there in the economy, don't you think what will happen in the economy? It will lead to increase in the wage rates. है ना? For example, if you see India ka economy, in Indian economy, the wage rates are continuously increasing. Be it any sector, primary, secondary, tertiary, wage rates are continuously increasing. Up. When these wages will increase, don't you think this will increase the cost of production? And if the cost of the production increase, then all the advantages with this economy vanishes. Or maybe, for example, not completely vanishes. I am saying, for example, consider India. If our wage rates are going above the Bangladesh and Vietnam, don't you think the investment instead of India will route towards the Bangladesh? Logical hai. Ab, this is the scenario, beta. This is the scenario. Just observe this scenario. When the wage rates are increasing, the scenario is nothing but the scenario of the middle income country. Wage rates increased. That means the country is now transformed from low income to middle income. But at the same time, if the wages are increasing, the cost of the production will again increase. You have to pay more to the laborers. And if that is the case, the initial advantages will be somewhat sacrificed or bypassed by the other countries. So this is known as middle income trap. That after this you have to do something, what I can say, out of the box in order to take your economy out of this, because you are already your old advantages are not more working, are no more working. Did you got the entire ideology? My next question to you will be, do you think India is facing the middle income trap? Now, in order to answer this, again you should have some concrete arguments. You should have some structure through which you will recall the points. Okay. What I'm saying, if I talk about the middle income trap, I have to bypass my, what I can say, the productivity wala failures. I have to bypass my sectoral failures. I have to bypass my investment wala failures. है ना? I have to go into the cycle where I am able to get the sufficient investment. My labor is productive enough. My, what I can say, the resources are productive enough. What I am trying to make a point is, there will be some challenges in Indian economy which is making India's economy trapped into middle income trap. I want you to answer what will be those challenges. And if there are challenges, there will be the way out, that how we can come out from the middle income trap. First of all, just to let you know, that some of the economists do not agree that India is in the middle income trap, while on the other hand, some of the economists strongly argue that India is falling into the middle income trap. So it is debatable topic. Ab, I need you to write the points with which you will support that India is falling into the middle income trap, or the challenges in India's economy to fall into the middle income trap. How you will go about it? Sorry. Stagnant growth of manufacturing sector. First of all, see, first of all, I should have a defined structure in my head. I will first of all comment on the human resources. I started my topic with the argument of labor only. I will combine the argument with the human resources, that when I am talking about the human resources, the graduates, first of all, almost 50% of the India's graduates, as per the India Skills Report 2024-2025, they are unemployable. The same thing has been reiterated by the economic survey as well. So this shows that the productivity of the human capital in India is very poor. Secondly, not only this beta, when I am talking about the skill or the availability of skills in the human resource, less than 5% of the total population has any sort of formal skill training. So this again shows that the productivity of human capital is very poor. Hence, India is falling into the middle income trap. First thing, from the human resource. Second, I will go to the sectors. When I am talking about the sectors, I will make a point that, see, the first and foremost point is stagnation of manufacturing sector. Since last 20 years, the growth rate has been stuck to around 15%. Whatsoever is the policy, whatsoever is the Make in India or the initiatives, be it PLI, be it Make in India, the growth rate is stuck at 15%. Next thing is, in the sectors, if I talk about sectors of the economy, I will talk about the informalization. That since 90% of the economy is falling in the informal sector, it clearly shows that we are into the trap of middle income economy. Okay. Ab, this is fine. We will stress the argument on the same lines. We'll make the structure. We'll stress the argument on the same line. If I ask you what is the way out, how you can bring your economy out from the middle income trap, what will be your answer? Sorry? Skill level force. What you will do? You will write the antidotes of this. You will say, harness the human capital through maybe, whatever demographic dividend you have, through the skill reforms, the, industry academia linkages, all those things. Fine. What else? Just see this slide. What else? It's fine. You will give me the antidote. But from this slide, what you can see, whenever the country will fall in middle income trap, the other countries will be becoming comparatively competitive. That means investment will start decreasing. Hayana. The first thing in the way out is that you increase the investment in the economy. You attract the investment, maybe by improving the ease of doing business, by providing the single window clearances, maybe decreasing the tax rates. You attract the investment in the economy so that the economy can come out from the middle income trap. Now, apart from this beta, apart from this, the report ka name I was looking forward to, World Development Report 2024. World Development Report 2024 has said that there are 3 I's which we need. 3 I's. First is investment. Second is infusion. Infusion of what? Infusion of technology. Just understand my point of view. If you are doing the production, infuse the technology in the production so that your efficiency improves, cost decrease. Infuse the technology in the labor. What I can say, whenever you are employing your labor, you use the technology along with it. Maybe the AI, maybe the technology which can make their work more efficient. So infuse the technology in the production process and maybe in the labor. Apart from infusion, the third thing is, which this World Development Report 2024 recommend is the innovation. That is, you have to continuously focus upon the technological innovations. Whatever technology you have, first of all you infuse them. Then with the time you keep on upgrading and evolving them so that you are competitive when it comes to the global market. The same thing has been done. The same thing has been done by many global economies. For example, if I talk about this South Korea, if I talk about Chile, these economies have adopted the same ideology or the same framework in order to bring their economies out of the middle income trap. Now, on the same hand, I have given you one example of South Korea. On the same hand, if I talk about the economies like Brazil or maybe Argentina, they are trapped into the middle income trap. From this, can you tell me what will be the other reason why India is falling into the middle income trap? From this, innovation or technological innovation. Right now, beta, when it comes to the R&D, only 0.7% of the GDP we are spending on the R&D. And when it comes to the China or maybe USA, they are spending as high as 3 to 4%. Okay. So we are not spending a lot on the technological innovations which can bring out the economy out of the middle income trap. Not only that, the quality of the patents or the recent innovation is not usable in nature. People are doing the research, people are filing the patents, but when it comes to the application of those patents and improving the efficiency, all those things, that is poor in India. You might have heard about maybe your friends or maybe your seniors, they might be doing the PhDs. Whenever they are concerned about the research they are doing, that research is not usable or practically usable when it comes to the final application. That is the mindset right now we are having in India. Okay? Most of the people who are registering for the PhD, I'm not saying all, I'm saying most of them, or maybe a substantial chunk of them, they are just going for the PhD for the stipend or maybe for the what I can say, a backup. Okay? And the research which they are focusing upon right now is not making the things more efficient or usable. Okay? So these are the 3 various heads we have fetched. Anything else? Focus on? No, right now we are focusing upon the capital intensive industries. So that is what you can write in the what I can say, this HR. Right now we are focusing upon the capital intensive industry and we are not focusing upon the labor intensive industries like textiles, apparels, all those things. Okay? That is fine. Then next is, in this only, infrastructure. When it comes to beta your product, again see this slide. If I want to come out from the middle income trap, don't you think I have to decrease this cost of production? Hayana. But when it comes to the infrastructural efficiency of India, it is very poor. As of now, if I talk about this right now logistic efficiency of India, we are spending as high as 30% of GDP on logistics as compared to 7 or 8% of the world average. Okay? So that efficiency is very poor, hence the cost of transportation is very high, or maybe the cost of logistics is very high. When I say logistics is different from the transportation. Logistic matlab transportation plus warehousing plus packaging and the entire value chain. ठीक है. So the cost of logistics when it comes to India is uncompetitive, है ना. So this is all about middle income trap. So we have seen that why I can say that India is falling into the middle income trap. Then I will suggest the way forward. Okay. What you will do? You will take a page. You will give a heading: middle income trap. Middle income trap. Please write. You will write the what I can say, the introduction, है ना, in the form of introduction. India with the per capita income of $2,500 is a middle income country, and facing threat of the middle income trap phenomena, comma, where countries face struggle to move from middle income to higher income due to rise in cost of factors of production. ठीक है. Now you write some data. Why India is data first. 2 data points we'll write, है ना. First, while India is 4th largest economy, in bracket we will write GDP. 4th largest economy, in bracket we will write GDP, comma, in terms of per capita income, India is ranked 144 out of 196, like this. 144 out of 196 countries. Second data point, as per World Development Report 2024, comma 108 countries were MIC, middle income countries, in 2023. full stop. Only 34 countries, full stop. Only 34 countries, comma, since 1990, only 34 countries, comma, since 1990, comma, have managed to shift from MIC to HIC, high income countries, from MIC to HIC. I've explained you everything. Now you will write the subheading. Please give the subheading. Why India can fall in MIT, middle income trap. Why India can fall in MIT. अच्छा, beta, I wanted you to make this diagram for the conceptual clarity. This you will not be making in the exam. Somewhere in a box, page may just give a box in the side. In the box, make this diagram. Lower income will lead to cheap labor, cheap land. Favorable factors of production, favorable factors. Cheap labor, cheap land. If this is so, in production, the products will become competitive. The products will become competitive. If the products are competitive, there will be higher exports, more investment, higher growth rate. Okay. This will shift, or this you can make an arrow like this also, or maybe kaise bhi. This will shift, this will lead to higher wages. So if there is the economic growth rate, wage will be increased automatically. Trickle down effect, है ना? Wages will increase. In bracket we will write middle income. So if the wages increase, the country will shift towards middle income. Now if the wages will increase, it will lead to higher cost of production. Higher cost of production. It will lead to the, it will make the economy uncompetitive, and that is, this will lead to middle income trap. ठीक है? A very good framework to understand the middle income trap. ये कहीं नहीं मिलेगा आपको. Now, give the heading. Why India can fall in MIT, middle income trap. Why India can fall in middle income trap. So we have seen everything. Just you will write. I will dictate. You will write. First, human resource related factors. Human resource related factors. Poor skill set. Poor skill set with only with only 5% population being formally skilled, with only 5% population being formally skilled, comma, क्या होगा इससे, क्या होगा, productivity will decrease, hence the cost will increase. So if I need 3 people instead of 1, obviously the cost will increase. So comma, क्या लिखा हमने, दिखा दीजिए, with only 5% population being formally skilled, comma, hampering, comma, hampering productivity. Then you will make an arrow like this, see, like this, decreased competitiveness, decreased competitiveness, ठीक है. Secondly right, degrees, degree, 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 not turning into jobs, semicolon, with around 50% graduates being unemployable, ठीक है. 30 right, poor industry academia linkage, poor industry academia linkage leading to demand supply mismatch, of skills, Second subheading you will give sector specific, sector or sector specific. First point, stagnant manufacturing sector, sector leading to stagnated industrialization, In bracket you can write what is the growth rate, what is this contribution of manufacturing sector to GDP, 15%. So in bracket you can write stagnant at 15%, stagnant contribution of 15% of GDP. Second you write, next you write informal economy अच्छा एक चीज तुम लोगों ने पूछी नहीं मुझसे, you didn't ask one thing from me, that why informal economy is leading to middle income trap, why? Huh? That is fine. See, whenever the economy will remain informal, it will never, what I can say, the units in the economy will never grow. There will be small units. We cannot focus upon the big industries. will be just stuck to small, what I can say, the MSMEs. So dwarfism will come in the economy, and whenever the dwarfism will come in the economy, then it will make the sector uncompetitive, and again it will lead to the middle income trap. Okay? So please write second, informalization. With almost 90% informal economy, with almost 90% informal economy, comma, leading to dwarfism. It was this term was given by economic survey. Dwarfism of MSMEs. Dwarfism of MSMEs, comma, making them uncompetitive. See, the logic is very simple. If the things are getting competitive, the different sectors will be forced to produce more. If my products are being competitive in the global market, my exports will increase, consumption will increase. If the consumption is increasing, that means the demand will increase. The demand is increasing, the production will increase. If the production will increase, the income will increase. The income will increase, we will be pushing towards the high income countries. Okay? Chalo, third you write technology related. Then you write first point, poor expenditure on R&D. Semicolon, as low as 0.7% of GDP. As low as 0.7% of GDP, comma, hampering innovation required to make competitive economy. Second point you write. Second point, please write patents not converting into usable technologies. Fourth you write investment. इसमें the first sub point will be private investment. Semicolon, being rooted towards other competitive economies like क्या एग्जांपल्स हैं? Bangladesh and Vietnam. Other competitive economies like Bangladesh and Vietnam. Suppose someone has to start a, let's say, textile industry. So now they are not preferring India anymore. They are preferring it in Bangladesh or maybe in Vietnam. Okay? That is what I am trying to focus upon. Public investment, second point. Public investment being rooted to non-capital expenditures, like salaries and other populist measures. What do you mean by populist measures? Tilted towards the vote bank. For example, if I talk about the cash transfers, those transfers are nothing but the populist measures. They're bringing it in the form of schemes. Maybe you know the Maharashtra elections, you might have heard about the schemes where there was a cash transfer to women. Ladli Behna, ठीक है योजना. So that is nothing but the populist schemes, है ना? So instead of making the infrastructure or maybe the roads or maybe the what I can say the waterways etc., we are focusing upon the populist schemes, है ना? If we are not focusing upon the infrastructure, what will happen? Our infrastructure will become uncompetitive. So that will be your fifth point. Infrastructure. Right? Logistic inefficiencies. Semicolon. With India spending around 13% of GDP as logistic cost, comma, significantly higher than global average of 8%. क्या होगा इससे? The things will again become competitive. We will be stuck. We will not be forced to produce more, and the production is not increasing. We will be in the trap, stagnant growth. ठीक है. Then next beta you will write. Give the sixth subheading, a very important subheading which many of you miss when you write the answers. Global reasons. Acha, focus here. Are the domestic reasons or are only domestic reasons responsible for the increased cost of production? I am saying, are only domestic reasons responsible? No. Just focus here. If I talk about international reasons or maybe the global reasons, for example, the oil which we are importing, if the cost of that oil, the crude oil prices will increase, the cost of the production in India's territory will increase. If the tariffs will be increased by the other nations like USA, don't you think the cost of production is fine? But when it comes to the export, it will become uncompetitive. Hayana. So all those factors, although global, are pushing India into the middle income trap. So we have seen some domestic, what I can say, the factors, but your answer will remain incomplete if you are not writing the global factors. Examiner ढूंढेगा इनको. Examiner will look forward to these points, that whether you are able to comprehend the other factors or not. Okay? So even one or two will do the wonders in your answer. So what you have to write? Sixth, global factors. First you write protectionism. With different phytosanitary measures. PHYTO, phytosanitary measures, and increased tariff rates and increased tariff rates. What value addition you will give here? US tariffs on India. Example, in bracket you can write example US tariffs on India. Secondly, write geopolitical tensions like Ukraine Russia war hampering. अब सी बोर्ड पे देखो, बोर्ड पे look at the board. Just writing this sentence in the exam will not fetch you the marks because you haven't linked it with the demand. Why it will make the things uncompetitive, or why it will push India into the middle income trap. Geopolitical tensions are fine, you have given the example, that is fine, but you will link it that it will increase the input costs. So what you have written? Geopolitical tensions like Russia Ukraine war, comma, hampering the cost of inputs like oil and critical minerals. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट राइट. अच्छा हो गया, done. So we have sufficiently shown to the examiner why India can fall in middle income trap. How to avoid middle income trap? How to avoid? First of all, you will start with some committee of the report. You will write that World Development Report 2024 has suggested 3 I's, which is investment, then not innovation, infusion of the technology into the production, maybe into the machines or maybe with the humans. Okay, infusion of technology. Then whatsoever technology you have infused, you have to do the innovation. You have to keep on upgrading the technology so that you remain competitive. है ना? These 3 I's. Other than this, you will write your own, what I can say, the antidotes of the challenges. Maybe if I am talking about this human resource, so we will focus upon the skills. When I am talking about the sector specific challenges like informalization, we will talk about the formalization of the economy. When I am talking about the technology related challenges, you will say that increase the expenditure on the R&D. When I am talking about the investment issues like private investment or the public investment, so private investment is clear, you will write, let's say, decrease the corporate tax rates, improve the ease of doing business, है ना, single window clearances. So that is what you will write for the private investment. When I am talking about the public investment, we will focus more upon the capital intensive investment like infrastructure, so that the things can become more competitive. Then infrastructure mein we will improve the logistic efficiency. So these will be nothing but the what I can say, the doors of the challenges in the way forward, है ना. So you will write the way forward. Now please write first World Development Report 3 I's. World Development Report 3 I's. World Development Report 3 I's. First is investment, semicolon, investment, semicolon. Attract more global investment. Attract more global investment by ease of doing business reforms. By ease of doing business reforms, comma, decreased tax rates, and bilateral lobbying at the lobbying, LOBBY lobbying, ING, bilateral lobbying. What is bilateral lobbying? between two countries you create a lobby of the what I can say the investments, है ना, ठीक है. Then infusion of the technology at the level of production and even efficiency of human resources, Thirdly, right, innovation semicolon by constantly upgrading the technology in bracket you can write AI, ML bracket close, in order to improve. Now you will write a keyword, total factor productivity, the very important keyword. If you are writing the answer on MIT, I want to see this keyword in your copy, total factor productivity. So for all the factors the productivity we have to enhance, total factor productivity, capital में लिख के underline कर लो. I want to see this total factor productivity, ठीक है. Then if you have written this as 1, or maybe if they have written this as 1 2 3, write fourth. So these 3 I's were recommended by the World Development Report. Now we are giving our own way forward. Fourth, human resource development semicolon HRD, human resource development, with more focus upon skill training. 5, structural reforms like digitalization, financial inclusion, and rational taxation, in order to formalize economy. ठीक है. चलो, done. Next topic. Now you will be pick up your handout. I hope you might have got the handout, है ना. Online the handout beta is there in your Telegram channels. I am also dropping the same handouts in the open Telegram channel of Sunya IAS. If some of you are new, you are not able to find your Telegram channels, you have not joined it, fine. So there is a main Telegram channel of Sunya IAS. Dropping the class handouts there, है ना. ठीक है. orange economy, or what do I mean by orange economy? Growing oranges? No, not at all. Okay. Orange economy is a different name or the second name of the creative economy. And when I say creative economy, beta, when I say creative economy, so see, now one thing should be very clear in the head. If the question is coming on orange economy, if the question is coming on creative economy, the content will remain the same. Okay. So in your document you can write slash if it is not there. Okay. Orange economy slash creative economy. Up. I think this should make some sense. What do I mean by creative economy? The economy which is working upon the, not influences, either ideas or innovations or knowledge. For example, if I am talking about a traditional artisan, he is making some creative artifacts, maybe a doll. So that is also nothing but a creative economy. If I am talking about a producer of a movie, he is creating something which is what I can say intellectual in nature. So that is also the creative economy. First of all, let's see when this was in news. So it was in news in May month. Okay. So there was a summit with the name WAVES. So India inaugurated it. Okay. And then again there were some keywords by the Modi ji in the WAVES summit. I will make you write it. Okay. So it was there in news with the context of this summit. This summit you will read again from the prelims point of view. I think those who are from previous batches, they might have done it. Okay, WAVE summit. Now just allow me a minute, है ना? So next topic is creative economy. So when I talk about creative economy, अच्छा है इधर है, ठीक है. So it will talk about the culture. It will talk about the creativity. And it can sometimes talk about the technology also. Don't you think there can be the creativity in the technology? For example, if I talk about this augmented reality, there is nothing but the creativity in the technology. If I talk about artificial intelligence, all of it is nothing but the creativity in the technology. If I'm talking about creativity standalone, don't you think the films, all of them, films or maybe songs, they comes under this bracket? If I'm talking about culture, all the things which are maybe art forms, those are nothing but the creative economy. If you are producing them, if you are selling them, that is nothing but the creative economy. Okay. Then technology may I have given you the example of augmented reality, or I will tell extended reality, XR. Okay. You will write a definition first at the top. At the top. Creative economy encompass, at the top of the document you will write creative economy encompass knowledge based activities, knowledge based activities, especially in culture, comma, creativity, especially in culture, comma, creativity, and technology, to drive economic benefits, to drive economic benefits. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट यू राइट, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट मतलब सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ इंट्रोडक्शन, सेम हेडिंग के नीचे लिखो I2, दिस वाज I1 वॉट एवर यू हैव रिटन, I2 creative economy is the economy driven by intellectual capital, in bracket में you will write original idea and innovation, is driven by intellectual capital, in bracket में you will write original idea and innovation, comma knowledge based skills, in bracket you will write artists, can you show me what I've written so far? Creative encompass knowledge activity, especially creative knowledge by intellectual capital, knowledge based skills, and can also use digital space for their reach. For example, an art form can be sold on the digital platforms, or maybe if there is a video, let's say some artist has performed something, so we can always digitally showcase it. Same film, same with extend reality. ठीक है, चलो अब we'll focus here. You will write some examples of what I can say the creative economy. We will categorize it, है ना? First you just go through it. What are the different things? We'll just write 3 or 4. Computer, service and software. So whatever the softwares are being made by the different companies, those are also nothing but the creative things, or creativity, innovation hai. So that is nothing but coming under the creative economy. Then publishing and printing a book, again a creative economy. Performance art, dance, music is nothing but a creative economy. Television and radio, whatever TV serials you are watching, whatever films you are watching, those are nothing but the creative economy. Innovations again are nothing but the creative economy. Culinary, what is culinary? Food. ठीक है. So let's say if there is some dish which is peculiar, or maybe made by some different knowledge based skills, है ना? So now there are some restaurants in the Delhi, those are very ancient and very old, ठीक है, एक दरियागंज करके है, ठीक है. So those have their own recipes, own knowledge based skills, tradition से. Then we have advertising, architecture, art and antiques, crafts, designs like chips. You might have seen the chips in the computer and all those things. So those are designed, है ना. Then we have fashion. Now the design could be of anything. Maybe on the clothes there could be the design. All of it is nothing but the creativity. Okay, or the creative economy. Fashion. Then video, film and photography, interactive games, music. So we will categorize into other the three parts. So please write examples of creative economy. Examples of creative economy. First, culture, semicolon, culture, semicolon. Performance art, comma, antiques, antiques, comma, music and crafts, second subheading or second, right? Creativity through, then you write books, comma, film, comma, fashion, etc. Third you will write technology, semicolon, technology, semicolon, computer software, comma, chip, chip, microprocessor chips, comma, design circuits, etc. ठीक है. So we have written the examples. अब tell me if you are dealing with this topic, what question you can expect in the exam? Significance. So first thing is, if I ask you about the significance or importance or benefits, this can be asked. Before this, maybe what I can say, the use case, use of creative economy. So we have written the example sufficiently. So this we have catered. First is significance, importance, benefits. Then what else? Challenges. Challenges to the orange economy. Then maybe anything what government has been doing. Then way forward. Anything else? Just if you followed the newspaper in case, other than the creative economy, there was a parallel debate on use of AI for creative economy, that how we can use the AI in the creative economy. For example, if there is some film producer, how you can use the AI to edit the shots of the film. Okay. So use of AI in the creative economy, a very micro sub theme which we will see in the class. We will start with the significance first. Don't look into the document. I'm giving you 1 minute. Take out the rough sheet. And write the significance of creative economy. Significance of creative economy. Significance of creative economy. Acha, what structure you will use? Political, sorry, economic significance, social significance, maybe some international significance, hai na? Maybe some technological significance, because we are talking about the innovation, maybe environment. If I talk about economic significance, just recall the syllabus of the economy. Maybe they can contribute to the growth rate of the economy, maybe they can lead to the job creation, maybe they can lead to the impartment of the skills, hai na? We are talking about the knowledge based economy right now. So these all. Then when it comes to the exports, it will contribute into the exports also, because IT sector of India, okay, this software industry is also a part of creative economy, so it will enhance the exports also. Not only software industry, the other things also are exported. If I talk about film, let's say the Bahubali as a film, hai na? So many other countries are watching that film in their own language, or maybe in the same language. Okay, so the exports of creative economy. Then innovations, it will give a boost to the innovation. Either you can write it here or maybe into the technology. हाँ ठीक है, वो social में आ जाएगा. For example, preservation of the traditional skills, it will come to social. And maybe cultural identity and the diversity. So what we are doing, we are showcasing a culture. I made a film on a culture and I showcased it to the entire India. Okay? So it is nothing but the what I can say, the showcasing the cultural identity. Okay? Then inclusive growth of the people who are engaged into the creative economy. Not only that, if I talk about the international front, it will give boost to the soft power, because the same thing, the same what I can say, this elements of the creative economy are nothing but the soft power tools. When it comes to the music, when it comes to the movies, when it comes to the cuisines, those are nothing but the tools of soft power, hai na? Our cuisines, our movies, those are very much what I can say, appreciated in different countries like Australia or Japan, etc. Okay. Then environmental mein, since these creative economy do not what I can say, exploit environment, they are environmentally sustainable or relatively environmentally sustainable. Now for example, if someone has to perform something, so there is nothing which someone has extracted from the environment, hai na? But again the person or the artist is contributing to the economy, so it is something which is environmentally sustainable. Now this I have given in the wait, I will come back to this in this format, okay, in your document. So if you can see the same thing, economic growth, so I have given you the data also. Economic growth, UN estimates suggest that it generates over 2 trillion in annual revenues worldwide, okay. We'll just now underline with me, we have already seen the basic framework. Then spillover effect. What is spillover effect? Spillover effect or the multiplier effect. So the same, for example, if I made one film, the same thing will give some jobs, or maybe will demand some other what I can say inputs from some other sectors, okay. Spillover effects. A successful film festival boosts local tourism, hospitality and transport sectors, so it will have a multiplier effect on the other sectors. A very important keyword, spillover effect or maybe multiplier effect, whatever you want to write. Then job creation, although both are different, but you can write any one of them here, both will be context like fit to the context. Then job creation, so high skilled roles in design, digital media, traditional artists, creative industry contribute nearly 8% of India's total employment. Kitna? 8%. Then boost exports, films ka, music ka, software ka, design services, fashion, IT, hai na? So it will boost the exports. Hence, up see, many of you fall short of points. If the exports are boosted, just go to the secondary points. Kya hoga? If the exports are boosted, it will lead to the, not GDP exactly, it will lead to the foreign exchange. Hai na? So that could be the another point, although I don't want to extend it, okay, because I have sufficient number of points. Then skill development and education, all edutainment. What you are doing, you are using this industry in the education, okay, maybe to present something. For example, although I am not doing it for you, maybe the PPT you can consider the creative economy, right? If I would have shown you some video here, that is nothing but a part of creative economy, and your learning experience will improve out of it, okay. So platforms like Kahoot combine interactive content and gamification to enhance learning outcomes, okay. So what they are doing in the learning only, they are combining the games, or in the games they are combining the learning. Also you can ignore, yaar, aisa nahi hai ki you have to write all the points, maybe 3 or 4 out of it will do the wonders, hai na? Then we have innovation and entrepreneurship in fields like gaming, animation, etc. For example, Green Gold Animation is known for creating the popular Chhota Bheem series. So I've given you the sufficient examples, sufficient value addition in the topic. Not only here beta, you can use the same examples in other topics also, hai na? Now second is socio-cultural, so it will lead to the inclusive growth of youth, less gendered biased. So if I talk about the creative economy, in this creative economy the youth is participating up much better than the other what I can say the demography of the country. So youth are participating more into this, so it will lead to the inclusive growth, especially of youth and the women as a gender. Why? Because this economy is not having any bias related to gender. When you talk about design, when you talk about innovation, when you talk about the artist, it is a gender neutral industry, okay. So 3% of people employed in creative industries are between, ये 3 नहीं है, इसे सही करो, this is not 3, wait, 23, this is not 3, this is 23%. 23% of people employed in creative industries are between 15 to 30 years or 29 years. Then women hold approximately 45% of creative employment, hai na? So this shows that this industry is inclusive in nature. Then preservation of traditional skills, this is self-explanatory. For their economic viability might otherwise disappear. So what you are doing, you are taking the skills and you are putting it on the digital platforms. Maybe you are making their market reach, or maybe you are improving their productivity. So preservation of traditional skills. For example, platform like Gatha help artisans market goods such as Madhubani paintings, hai na? So it will lead to the what I can say, the incentives for the traditional artisans to not leave that particular tradition. ठीक है, Madhubani, Pattachitra, etc. to wider audience. Then strengthen cultural identity. For example, Bollywood films celebrate India's rich and diverse cultural heritage. Then we promote cultural diversity, regional languages, cinema, example Marathi, Telugu and Assamese films. Okay? So it will promote the cultural diversity. Just whenever you are writing the points, if you have sufficient number of points, merge both of them. है ना? Merge both of them. Promote cultural identity and diversity. Then we have third, international. So it will act as a soft power. Cinema, music, cuisine, literature. Example, Bollywood film being famous in Japan. Then we have the environment, sustainable development, low environment footprint. Example, software industry, or maybe any artist. All of them are having low footprints on the environments. ठीक है. अब do one thing, beta. At the top you have some space. Wait. हाँ. So significance of creative economy के ऊपर you have some space. Just write some data points there. First of all, you write contributes 20% to GDP. First point, contributes. If you don't have the space, write at the back. ठीक है, of the same page. Contributes 20% to the GDP. Second, contributes 8% to total employment. Contributes 8% to total employment. Third, pays 88% higher than non-creative jobs. So pays 88% higher than non-creative jobs. Then this I don't want you to write, this I don't want you to write. ठीक है. So this is the data for the world. कि world में only 3% of the global GDP is coming from the creative economy, but in India around 20%. ठीक है. Then present valuation is around $250 billion. Employment is around 3 crore jobs worldwide. Don't write this, not required at all. Then urban revitalization. So this is again importance of this creative economy. Creative hubs in cities like Japan and Mumbai are revitalizing urban areas, increasing property values by 30%. ठीक है. So people are shifting to these areas, although not that important. When you will be dealing culture ना, you will be having the significance of this city, है ना, getting the status of creative city. ठीक है, बाद में देख लेंगे. चलो, challenges now. What will be the challenge? बोर्ड पे देखो पहले. What will be the challenge? Now it's easy. अब कुछ नहीं है इसमें. When I'm talking about the creative economy, what will be the challenge? It is all about the innovation. है ना? It is majorly about the innovation. What if I am leaking the innovation? What if I am leaking the innovation? Piracy. Okay. So the challenges will revolve around that only. First of all, technology related or maybe the innovation related challenges. है ना? So first challenge is technology related. Digital divide and digital literacy. For example, only 24% of the rurals have access to internet, while 66% in cities. So this will reduce the reach of the creative economy. Why? Because people are not able to sell their products on the digital space. Digital divide. Then cyber security risk, safeguard digital assets, so that if you are going digital, so this will be the risk, cyber security risk. Then skill deficits in emerging technologies like AI, ML and blockchain. This is coming from the economy, that we do not have industry academia linkages. Right now we need some labor force in, let's say, ML or AI, but we are producing the graduates maybe on some other what I can say, the branches, let's say civil engineers or maybe all those people. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying civil engineers are not needed. I'm saying there's a skill academia mismatch, है ना? So maybe we need 50 civil engineers and 100 AI wala people. But right now we are having 200 civil engineers, only 5 AI wala people. So that is the industry academia mismatch, है ना, skill deficit. Then artificial intelligence concerns, so issue around copyright. So whatsoever is there, the artificial intelligence is gathering it, especially when it comes to the books and all those things. You can also write the examples of deepfakes. ठीक है. अब next is policy or legal framework. So policy fragmentation, multiple ministries are there, weak IPR enforcement is there. For example, patent का processing delay and weak copyright enforcement. Example 58 months लगते हैं इंडिया में for a patent, ठीक है, on an average, while it is as low as 20 months in China and 20 in US. Then data deficiency, informal creative sector. There are artisans, there are what I can say, the designs, there are innovations, जुगाड़ बोलते हैं इंडिया में, है ना. But since the economy is informal, it is not coming into the mainstream. Then we have the financial constraint, limited access to funding, minority and grassroots artists. So they know the art, they are the artists, but they don't have the sufficient funding to showcase their art, maybe on the digital platform or maybe on the international platform. Then infrastructural deficiency like digital networks. ठीक है, I'm giving you 30 seconds, just revise it from your notes. अब दिक्कत नहीं होगी, हो जाएगा. On the board now, if I ask you what is the use of AI in creative economy, how you will answer this? Thought process क्या होगा? See, not only for the creative economy, for any sort of what I can say the product, I will say, for any sort of product, first of all there will be the testing of the product. So in the testing phase only we will use AI. For example, if I'm talking about, let's say, pilots, if I want to train them, I can use the virtual reality. They will have the goggles, I will train them for the pilot training. Otherwise the accident may happen, है ना? We are just training the pilots. So in the training or in the testing phase we can use the AI first of all. Apart from testing beta, we can use them in the product development phase. For example, they can assist. I give you the example of a filmmaker. So they can assist, the AI can assist in the maybe clipping the films or shortening the films. So product development mein we can use the AI. Apart from product development, what will happen? You will go to market the product. है ना? You will sell the product. In marketing also you can use the AI. For example, to know the consumer behavior, or maybe you might have seen the lens card. So what they do, they use the AI to show your glasses on your eyes. You need not to visit the store, है ना? With the virtual, what I can say, with the use of AI, they will show you the virtual image of yours with the lenses. So marketing में the use of AI in the of the creative economy. Then after marketing in service delivery. For example, I have made a movie, I have made a product, I am marketing the product, I have made the movie. Now when I am showing you the movie, I have different versions, 2D, 3D, 4D, हाँ या ना? So I'm improving the experience of the service delivery by using the AI. So that is how you have to answer the question. Otherwise you won't be able to fetch the points. आएंगे ही नहीं एग्जाम में, ठीक है? So first in the testing, second in the product development, third in the marketing, fourth in the service delivery. ठीक है? Service delivery. ठीक है? Now open your document. अच्छा these ये रह गए थे, ये पढ़ लिया तुम लोगों ने? Shall I repeat? जल्दी जल्दी कर देते हैं. Market constraints, तो fragmented ecosystem is there. So these are the challenges again. So रह गए थे तो market access and distribution में there are issues. Then creativity, innovation disconnect is there. Ideas are there but they are not translating into final products. ठीक है? The other challenges, socio-cultural barriers. So there is a rural-urban disparity, career stereotypes. So for example, if someone is want to become a, let's say, Kathak dancer, if he or she will tell the family that I want to become a Kathak dancer, I don't want to pursue the maybe the education, or I don't want to get into the formal, what I can say, the jobs, what the family will say? Typical Indian family, they will deny, right? So the career stereotypes, the career creative professions seen as unstable. Here pata nahi, whenever you will be maybe you will not get the global stage, or maybe there is so much of competition if you want to become a dancer. So career creative profession seen as unstable. Then aging artisans and youth disinterest. So the tradition is there, the knowledge is there, the knowledge based skill is there, so it has to be transferred to the next generation, but the next generation is not interested, है ना, उसको कुछ और करना है अपना. तो this is leading to the death of the different art forms. Then cultural disconnect, limited people awareness and appreciation. Now the people do not see those art forms and the traditional artist as something which is maybe appreciable. ठीक है यार, बना लिया है ना, क्या काम का है ये आता है. What is the need now of all of this? Ethical concerns, so AI versus humans. So AI generated content may replace human creativity. Ghibli. अब स्पेलिंग गलत है सही है तुम बताओगे? गलत है सही है? Spelling of Ghibli is right or wrong? हाँ, H भी आता है, तो इन लोगों ने यूज किया हुआ है, मैंने जान के गलत लिखा था. Those who have used, they will tell me the right spelling. Ghibli, ठीक है, चलो. Algorithm bias may favor certain creators on content types. For example, YouTube videos, है ना? So they will keep on just promoting the same, what I can say, the creator again and again and again and again. So the algorithmic bias is there. Then exploitation of creators. Artists often face exploitative contract, inadequate pay and all those things. The producer will earn a lot, but when it comes to the artisans, the small, the sub artists or the side actors, they are not paid well. Then data privacy risk. The example is evident on the Telegram. You can find any movie right now, है ना? Or maybe any lecture right now on the Telegram. ठीक है? So data privacy risks are there. ठीक है? Emerging technologies and creative economy. So that is how what I explained you. First in the testing phase, virtual training and simulation में the AI will help the creative economy. So this is nothing but the use of AI in creative economy, or use of emerging tech, not AI, emerging tech in creative economy. So in training phase, virtual training and simulation में, for example, it will work as a test bed. ठीक है? Microsoft Flight Simulators offers virtual this reality based pilot training simulations. Then we have the development phase. So assist the creators with AI tools in editing, language translations, automating repeated creative tasks. You repeat, है ना? You leave it all over the AI. Then AI generated content can now generate music, scripts, visual arts and even literature. For example, Sun Spring, a short film entirely written by AI bot Benjamin. ठीक है? Then we have 3D printing. So for example, whatever you want to do, the the product prototypes, or maybe the designs, or maybe the customized products. You need the different size of the machine, all those things. So the 3D printing, emerging tech. Then there's the example. Zaha Hadid Architects employs 3D printing for furniture designs, है ना? So they are making the customized furnitures with the precise size with the help of 3D. So this is the use of emerging tech in the creative economy. Then marketing and sales phase, augmented reality marketing offer interactive experiences. Example, lens card. Then non-fungible tokens, very good example. UPSC asked the question from this in the prelims also. Okay, NFTs. So what you are doing, you are putting your arts over the blockchains in order to sell it. Okay. So offering new revenue streams for artists and creators. Now for those who don't know NFTs, please just Google it. Otherwise I will come it will be covered definitely in the prelims current affairs. Okay? Non-fungible tokens. Then service delivery. So for example, immersive storytelling, extended reality technology enable deep engaging storytelling, film, theater, art exhibitions. अब वे फॉरवर्ड में पॉलिसी लेवल में वे फॉरवर्ड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर दिस टॉपिक, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, पॉलिसी लेवल पे reframe the national innovation strategy. So make it more what I can say advanced and updated. National innovation strategy, first thing. So you cannot forget this word. Second, dedicated nodal agency. Now if you want to remember the value addition, you remember the value addition. So UK has the nodal agency similar to UK, Creative Industries Council. So for the creative sector, make a dedicated nodal agency. Then establishment of creative districts. So whatever districts are there, just establish some creative districts with different what I can say the niche, okay, of those districts, inspired by Thailand's model to foster local creative economies. Then you have dedicated creative sector fund. So this is the third keyword, creative sector fund, a fund with which we can ensure the long-term investments. So for example, European Commission's Cultural and Creative Sectors Guarantee Fund. I think, see, these much value additions you cannot remember. So what you can do at the very first basic stage, now just remember the name of the country or maybe the commission. Okay, this or maybe Thailand here, maybe UK here, because you cannot remember the complete name, practically speaking. So guarantee, credit guarantee schemes and crowdfunding. For example, if you want to conduct some show or maybe some, you know, what I can say the event, do the crowdfunding for it. Then human capital में education and training. Now these are general. This you can read from your notes. Please give me 1 minute. Read and complete. Sorry. Wait. Just try to decode the word AI governance. What does this mean? क्या मतलब होगा? सोच के देखो. Governance of AI, हाँ या ना? What it is trying to say that AI can be disruptive also. Why? Because the AI can fetch the knowledge or what I can say the this skills or maybe the content of the creative economy. So we have to focus upon AI का governance so that the knowledge of the creative economy shall not be misused. AI governance. AI governance तो पूरा topic देखेंगे हम in AI. In AI I will deal with 7 micro topics in which AI governance will be a subtopic. ठीक है? चलो. So this is the statement of Modi ji in WAVE summit. It is the right time to create in India, create for the world. Hence, we should be focusing upon the creative economy. So this will be your conclusion. Is this in your notes, beta? ठीक है, फिर तो मजा है. India is a land of billion plus stories. So every creative or every creation has a different story. Every movie has a story. Every what I can say TV serial has a story. Every artist has a story. Every art form has a story. So billion plus stories. Why billion plus? Each person has a different story. Billion plus story. ठीक है. चलो, last topic of the day, creative minerals. So it has been in news since long. So recently it was in news because of the National Critical Mineral Mission launched by the government. ठीक है. So maybe 30th July को it was in news. Then in August 1st it was in news. In May also, April also it was in news. So very good prominent topic. ठीक है. Up. What do I mean by critical minerals? See, there are two terms: rare earth minerals and critical minerals. अब rare earth minerals is part of critical minerals. Both are not the same. First of all, ठीक है? Rare earth metals or rare earth minerals are part of critical minerals. Critical minerals are those minerals which are critical in terms of manufacturing of some products. Needed, required, critical. ठीक है? Now in this criticality or in this need, there could be some metals which are very rare or very rare to found. Those are also part of critical minerals. Is there any standard global definition of critical minerals? Here the need of some mineral or maybe of some metal will depend on country to country. So there will be some different lists of critical minerals for different countries. Now India released its list of 30 critical minerals, and you can find the list here. You will see there are some prominent and well-known minerals like copper, cobalt, है ना? Then potash, graphite, ठीक है, lithium. अब if you can sense whatever minerals I have marked, at least you should have heard about them. हाँ या ना? बाकी छोड़ के which whatever I have marked in red, you should have heard about them. अब if you have heard about them, can you tell me a issue common to all of them? They are not available sufficiently in India. Almost all of them. If I talk about even copper, almost 95% to 100% of it we are importing as of now. If I talk about lithium, for the lithium ion batteries we are importing almost all of it, or more than 90% of it. So the metal will become critical if the challenges are there in the domestic space. अब I need your 100% attention. I will complete the topic in single minute if you are attentive. ठीक है, वरना दिक्कत होगी इसमें. I am saying a metal will be critical or the mineral will be critical if the domestic में there is an issue in the supply. If there is an issue in the domestic supply, the metal will become critical. When there will be an issue in the domestic supply? First of all, when there will be an issue in the domestic supply, first thing is that the availability is not there. Availability or presence of that critical metal is not there. I'm saying availability is there. Let's say I have the deposits of the lithium, I have the deposits of the copper, I have the deposits of the cobalt. Let's say availability is there, but instead of having the things available, I am not having the supply. By extractions, before extraction, I will say the exploration, that I have not explored those minerals yet. I haven't explored them. ढूंढे ही नहीं है मैंने. I haven't explored them. Even if I have explored, I have not extracted them. Why? Even after exploration, I have not extracted them. By technological barriers. So there are some technological barriers. Maybe we are not that advanced with the technologies in order to extract them. All of it will come into it. Other than this, what else? Maybe the demand is too high that I am not able to match the supply. That is the case with the lithium, है ना? If any one of it there, the metal will fall into the critical domain. Do you get me or not? First of all, let's see whatever list the government has given. 30 critical minerals for India, including bismuth, cobalt, copper, phosphorus, potash, rare earth elements, silicon, tin, titanium, etc. First of all, let's see the use of all of it. कहाँ use होता है? Any idea from whatever I have marked? Can you tell me the use case? Sorry, batteries in mobiles or maybe in the electronic vehicles. Then defense. Very good. So when I talk about the defense, missiles and all those things, most of the metals are used not only in the body but as the this fuel and all those moderators. Okay. Then nuclear reactors. If you will see uranium here, is the uranium in the list? Not in the list. Acha. Okay, but some of the countries have uranium also in the list. Okay. So that is used in the nuclear reactors. If I talk about the use case beta of this, if you'll see your phone, see your phone have different layers, and different layers of the phone use different of the critical minerals. For example, mobile body uses titanium, circuit board uses copper, this battery uses lithium. Then when I talk about this speakers and microphone, they use sphalerite. When I talk about screen assembly, using bauxite and tin. Glass screen using potassium. ठीक है. Not only this, see this. Energy में, energy sector में it is being used. Technology sector में it is being used. Maybe this industry sector में it is being used. All these metals, potash for the fertilizers, if you have heard. हाँ या ना? Then steel sector में all these metals are being used. Batteries में all these metals are being used. Research में all these metals are being used. So we have a very concrete, what I can say, the use case of the critical minerals. Other use case could be solar panels. See, then we have the battery, we have seen wind turbines, national defense, gallium, scandium. Then aviation में vanadium for the bodies. ठीक है. अब what you will do, you have the space in the document. I have given the heading uses of critical minerals. ठीक है. Uses of critical minerals. First of all, you will write the introduction at the top. See, if this is a document, I am asking you to write the introduction here. Here we will write the data, here we will write the uses. ठीक है. Please write. Recently, government has launched National Critical Mineral Mission. National Critical Mineral Mission in order to in order to enhance availability of critical minerals. Introduction type 2, introduction to I2. Critical minerals are characterized by scarcity, comma, high economic value, and importance in production of cutting edge technologies. You will go to uses of critical minerals. First, batteries. In bracket we will write lithium. Second, solar panels. In bracket we will write tellurium. Tellurium. Third, wind turbines. In bracket we will write tin. Tin. Fourth, national defense. In bracket we will write gallium. कितने लिख लिया हमने? 4. 5 we write aviation. In bracket we will write vanadium. कितने लिख लिए? 5. 6 you write 6 industries like fertilizers. In bracket we will write potash. कॉमा फर्टिलाइजर्स के ब्रैकेट में पोटैश लिखा कॉमा स्टील. In bracket we will write tin. In bracket we will write tin. ठीक है, done. If you can see, we have written some names also for the critical minerals, whatever has been there in the list. ठीक है, so that you can remember the names also, you can remember the uses also. Now we will switch to the some data. So India has tapped into just 10 to 20% of its actual capacity in terms of critical mineral exploration. I will dictate, then you will write. Second is India holds 11% of world's deposit of ilmenite, the main source of titanium dioxide. Next, in India, the lack of ready reserves of critical minerals has resulted in 100% import dependence for minerals like lithium, cobalt and nickel, almost 100%. Then we have around 95% of India's copper requirement are met through imports. Global Critical Mineral Outlook report says that by 2040 the demand for copper is expected to rise by 50%, double for nickel, 100% for nickel, cobalt and rare earth elements, quadruple 4 times for graphite and 8 times for lithium, which is crucial for batteries. So that is how the demand of critical minerals will increase over the period of time. See, UPSC from you as a future bureaucrat will always expect that how you can ensure that we are bridging the demand of the critical minerals, or UPSC will expect you to know whether you know what are the issues or the challenges in the critical minerals. Okay. Then we have the lithium discovery. So if you have heard about this Riyasi district in Jammu and Kashmir, so we have the lithium discovery. Old news hai thodi, so now that important. What you will do, you will now write some data points, right? First, only 10 to 20% of critical mineral capacity has been explored. Second, India almost has 100% dependence in bracket you write import in bracket you write import for 100% dependence for lithium, cobalt, nickel. Next, third, right? Around 95% of India's copper requirement is met via imports. Done. This I will give you in the document. Additional hai, if you want to fetch something out of it, you can fetch. Otherwise, just crudely say to the examiner that as per this Global Critical Minerals Outlook Report 2024, the demand will be almost 3 times for all the critical minerals. Crudely I can say that. Challenges related to critical minerals. First of all, supply chain related challenges. So look at the board yaar, document mein to padh loge. Board pe dekho. I will take 10 minutes because I have already given you the sufficient information on the topic. Whatever is there I have given on the document. What are the challenges in the critical minerals? The challenges will be derived from here only. See, if the availability is not there, exploration is not there, extraction is not there, or demand is high, what you will do? You will do the imports. Now, whenever you are doing the imports, you have to dependent on the few countries, or maybe there could be monopoly of the countries. And when I'm talking about these minerals, the critical minerals, there is a peculiar feature, especially in the exploration, that they are very, what I can say, unevenly distributed. They're not evenly distributed. They're very unevenly distributed. Maybe some continent has the entire of it and the other continent not having maybe even 1% or 2% of it. So very unevenly distributed. So exploration there will be some issues. So that is how the entire issues will be faced from this, either from the availability or from the exploration or extraction or from the demand. Okay? So what you can do in the sub side mein uske, you can make this, because this will be the framework. आप points इससे recall करेंगे. You will be recalling the points through this framework. So either there is an issue in the availability or presence, or in the exploration, or in the extraction, or the demand is very high. Done. Monopoly of few countries. Since the exploration or since the presence of these critical minerals are uneven, so they will be present in some countries, or maybe some countries have better technology to extract them. So there will be a monopoly of few countries. For example, Australia, Chile and China account for 90% of global supply of lithium. Okay. Then the Democratic Republic of Congo accounts for more than 75% of cobalt extraction. This was the, I think, the prelims ka PYQ hai na. Skewed distribution, uneven global distribution of critical minerals. Price volatility is not hedged to price volatility, or no hedge is there. ठीक है. Understand this point. इसमें थोड़ा struggle हो सकता है. अब if the minerals or the critical minerals are available with, let's say, 20 countries, what will happen? You can hedge the price, or you can hedge the price, because you have the options. You can get the things at the, what I can say, the negotiated price. But if some country has the monopoly, can you negotiate the price? No. And since the minerals are critical, since they are needed for the critical technologies, you have to purchase it. What if at some day China, Chile and Australia make a pact and they decide to, 2 times make the price of the lithium? Don't you think the price of the EV in the entire, what I can say, the world will increase or shoot up? Obviously yes. So there are price volatilities, and there is no hedge to this price volatility because of the monopoly. There is no hedge. Okay. Then when it comes to the challenges, growing demand, obviously because of the use in emerging tech, maybe the phones, maybe the digital technologies, these are the inputs. I show you the image of the phone, right? So all of the, what I can say, the components almost has some critical mineral. So example, lithium battery market in India might grow 38% each year. This is the growth rate, almost 50% each year until 2030. That's the growth rate of this particular, what I can say, the critical minerals. Hai na? Limited domestic availability. So right now in India, we haven't even explored. Let me be very frank with you. Hardly 10 to 20% exploration has been done. Exploration, not extraction. Extraction is different. मैंने निकाल लिया. Exploration मिल गया. That is only 10 to 20%. Extraction is the activity done after the exploration. Are you getting my point? We are not even explored. Extraction is the next activity. So if you have the technology, you will be able to extract. But technology right now is outdated in India. So exploration barriers, capital intensive exploration is there. Maybe for example, for a single exploration, you have to hunt for, let's say, the entire country. And even after that, you are not able to find any, what I can say, the mineral. Even after you find the mineral, you are not able to extract it. So a capital intensive activity. The lack of processing and refining technology is there in India. That is again a challenge. Then import dependence. So that is what we have already seen. Cobalt, nickel and copper is between 93 to 100%. Public sector monopoly. Although this has been done away with the Mines and Minerals Exploration Act 2023. Okay? So earlier, before that, there was a monopoly. Okay? We have reserved these minerals only for the public sector. Right? Then geopolitical challenges. Again, I told you the same thing which we did in the middle income trap. The challenges are Russia-Ukraine conflict. So Ukraine is significant producer of titanium. So if that is the case, obviously that will the challenge in the availability of the titanium. Then Russia-China partnership influence the power balance. So what they are doing the collision type of thing for the critical minerals when it comes to especially exporting it to the USA. Okay? Then the significance of the critical minerals. So see, significance I think you can derive. How you will go about the significance? From the uses. See the use. So if it is being used in the EVs, so it will have the significance, environmental significance. Hai na? If it is used in the solar energy and the wind energy, again it will have the significance on the renewable energy. So we have seen two significance from the environment. Then it is used in the defense sector also. So it will have the significance for the India's security. So that is how you will fetch the points. I am giving you 2 minutes, just go about it. Significance of critical minerals. See, economic, what you will write? Economic development industries such as high tech electronics, they will be fueled. So if you have the critical minerals, so that could work as an input for the high tech industries. Then boost to manufacturing. India can use neodymium from domestic sources to make magnets for drones and robotics. So it will give you a boost to manufacturing. These points are similar, nothing but the syllabus of the economy, right from the syllabus of the economy. Then reduce import will, especially from China. Then it will give the boost to the digital economy. Example, for the manufacturing of semiconductors, critical minerals such as gallium is required. So whatever is the use ना, जो हमने पहले लिखा था, याद है, uses of the critical minerals, that will be used as a value addition here. Value addition की तरह use करेंगे आप उसको. Let's say in environment, if you are writing the renewable energy production, so you will use the same use case, the examples which you wrote as the value addition there. I've explained everything, please बस read कर लो बेटा, कुछ ना है तो पूछ लो. Done. In government measures, you will find first as Mines and Minerals Amendment Act. There you will write, please write, opened auction of 30 critical minerals, 30 critical minerals to private sector. So with this amendment, government opened the auction of critical minerals to private sector. ठीक है, first. Second is removal of custom duties on 25, removal of custom duties on 25 critical minerals, such as lithium and cobalt. So in institutional, right पे लिखा होगा institutional. First is काबिल. What is काबिल? Please write खानिज. खानिज इन मिनरल को हिंदी में बोलते हैं खानिज, KHANIJ, खानिज. विदेश इंडिया लिमिटेड, खानिज विदेश इंडिया लिमिटेड. So what they are doing the mineral explorations in the other countries. काबिल है ना. So how they're playing the role in critical minerals? So wherever they are doing the exploration, they are trying to secure India का supply of the critical minerals, है ना. Then we have Geological Survey of India. What they will do? Explore. So exploration of critical and deep seated minerals. Then we have set up a center of excellence on critical minerals. Periodically update the list of critical minerals. I told you this list is dynamic in nature, है ना? So this will depend on the needs and the availability of the critical minerals. At some day, let's say we are getting a huge, what I can say, the deposits of some mineral which is critical right now, and we are able to explore it, it will be removed from the list, है ना? So dynamic list. Then schemes, policy, summary, this summits. So we have the critical mineral list. How many? 30. In bracket you write 30. Then we have critical mineral mission. I will come to this. Before that, let's come to the mineral security partnership. Again, we will deal with this mineral security partnership from the prelims perspective, है ना? And also from the mains perspective in IR. ठीक है? अभी as of now, you just write few words. Please write. India joined. कब किया था? India joined MSP लिख दीजिए, MSP, India joined this, ठीक है? Then bilateral agreements. So India, Australia have signed the critical mineral investment partnership. So India is also signing the bilateral investment. This is nothing but the value addition I have given you. Example, है ना? चलो. Now what you will do? Give a heading. National. उसी में नीचे space है. If you will see the document, there is a space. So give a heading. National Critical Mineral Mission. National Critical Mineral Mission. Please write. Launched under Ministry of Mines. Launched under Ministry of Mines, comma, for 7 years. For 7 years. In bracket we will write 2025 to 2032. For 7 years, comma, in order to secure domestic and international supply of critical minerals, domestic and international supply of critical minerals, comma, strengthen value chain, in bracket we will write exploration to recycling, and make India globally competitive, So the first component is increasing domestic critical mineral production. Please write the components of NCMM. First, increasing domestic critical mineral production. So obviously we will first look at our own home, है ना? First we'll look at our own home. Then we'll go to the foreign countries or maybe the other nations. So second component is acquisition of critical minerals assets abroad. What do you mean by critical mineral assets? What do I mean by critical mineral assets? Mines. ठीक है? So it is not talking about that we will acquire the minerals from the other countries. We will acquire the entire mines through khanage. Kabil. ठीक है? Through Kabil. Third is recycling. So it is saying the critical mineral which is available maybe in the screen of the phones or maybe in the batteries. You recycle that critical mineral. है ना? Do not throw that into the waste. So recycling of the critical minerals. Fourth is you purchase the minerals now. Trade and markets. So this is for mines, this is for minerals, this is for recycling, that is for domestic production. तो चार तो अभी हमें क्लियर हो गए, ठीक है. This is for minerals, we will purchase the minerals, this we will acquire the mines, this is we will recycle, that is we will do the domestic exploration of the production. Fifth is scientific research and technological advancement for both exploration and extraction. Scientific research and technological advancement for exploration, comma extraction, and even replacement. If you will see the entire document of this, na board pe dekho, if you will see the entire document of this, there is a word mentioned there, replacement. That if we see that the lithium is being used, and if we have the other metal which is available, do the advancement in the technology such that we are able to replace the metal which we are importing. Here battery, if I am talking about the electronic battery or the e-vehicles mein jo battery use hoti hai, it is not only dependent on the lithium. We can always use the other metals also. So use or do the technological advancement so that we can replace some of the critical minerals with the minerals which we have right now in the country. Okay. Then human resource development. So this is all about training. Human resource development, training. Seventh is developing FFF, funding, financing and fiscal incentives. Beta, UPSC can any day ask you, this year I am expecting the question directly on the component. और देखना बड़ी बात नहीं है, पूछ ले तो. It has been so much in news. In the light of National Critical Mineral Mission, please critically analyze the challenges being faced by critical minerals. ठीक है, और एनालाइज द चैलेंजेस, कुछ भी आ सकता है. लिख लिया? चलो, दैट इज फॉर द डे. विल मीट इन द some other class of ICA, है ना. थैंक यू.